Okay, yeah, that's right up our alley. Would you want to not only put the videos and audio files, but would you also want to put like all the associated documents, offense reports, photos, emails, stuff like that, all in one place, or is it
Yes,
just?
we would love it where you can have the body cam, 911 call, offense report, criminal history, all of it, all in one place, where the defense counsel could just log in and see it and access it, and then we don't ever have to burn anything, because that would minimize the amount of time I spend formatting the DVD, burning it, writing on it, and then telling them that it's ready.
Yep. I think it'll actually also be a pretty cool thing that we can help with fair representation as well. And I'll kind of jump into that here if that's okay, just to kind of show you what that might look like.
Okay.
So this screen shows, like in its most simplistic view, like a digital filing cabinet, if you will. So these are case files. It doesn't matter if they're criminal. Are you guys only criminal, or do you handle civil as well, all under one roof? Or is it...
We have cases that technically are civil, but they're criminally related, so like asset forfeiture.
Okay. Oop, I think I lost you here.
Oh, yeah, okay. Our phone's connected to the internet, so if our internet's fluctuating, that might be why you're losing me.
All right, I think I got most of it, that you guys do some civil, but it's like asset forfeiture and stuff. So in this screen, these are called folder indexes, and it's basically, this is just our demo environment. So this can be whatever you want. It can be configured to match what you guys have in Odyssey, and that's how most of our clients do it currently as well.
Okay.
You have optional fields, some are required. We can have a drop-down list of all of the offense types, And then defense attorney, which would be the portal where the defense attorney logs in and views their information. And so putting these defense attorneys in this list is helping the permissions in our system dictate who has access from an outside view to that file folder, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then similarly in your office, if you want to have a specific prosecutor assigned to that folder, if everyone has access to it, or you can specify if only a group of people have access, it's super configurable from that standpoint as well. So getting into the fun stuff, if I open up this folder, it'll show me all the files in the case for discovery, starting with the offense report going all the way down. So we have a video, an email, a Word doc, and then there's the work product subfolder for internal use so that the defense attorney cannot see any of the contents within the subfolder. All they can see are the documents in this view. And I'll show you what a defense attorney's view looks like here in a second.
Okay.
So basically any kind of electronic file type. So then I'll log out. I'm logged in as an administrator. I'll log in as a defense attorney. You see their views a little bit different. They'll just have this one button, so we try to make it as easy as possible. They only have the view to that specific one folder. They're not going to see all the other folders, or if they have multiple cases, they'll see all the case folders there. And then they don't have access to that work product folder, and they can't really do anything to the files other than view it or download it. And you can dictate specifically if you don't want them to download it. They can only view it or vice versa.
Okay.
So one of the cool things about the program is for videos in certain formats, it can convert it and stream it on the fly so that you can watch it like while you're in the program versus downloading it. So if you guys are having bandwidth challenges, that might help, alleviate a little bit of time where, you'd have to download the whole thing. You can just pre-record it. And then I can open up like a different file. And so all of this is being tracked by our audit trail. So if I close that tab. So let me log back out and log in as like an administrator or perhaps like a district attorney employee. and I'll show you in real time that it will track when that defense attorney opens a file or if they didn't open the file.
Nice.
Here's the video. I can go to my audit trail, and then that's the username, that's the IP address, and then the date and time, what they did. So that way, and I'm assuming you guys get a lot of things where like, oh, I never received that discovery document or video type of thing in court.
Yeah, certainly.
Then you can use this to combat that and be like, aha, let me make you look pretty.
So you can do that specifically for each type of document and video.
Yes, sir. Yep.
So you can say you literally, you opened it this day, so you viewed it.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
As well as, sir, demonstrate whether they did or didn't open it. This audit trail will demonstrate that, number one, you have provided all of this evidence to the defense, but secondarily to that, it will demonstrate whether they have or have not accessed a specific piece of evidence that they may have an issue with.
Okay.
So we have some pretty cool tools that we, well, I like to think they're pretty cool, but it's up to your opinion. Can I show you this Michael Morton compliance document that we created?
Yeah.
So we've taken this document, and it's really like a background process where it's going to take in all the information. And so we would use the template that y'all use for your county, bring in like the defendant's first name and last name up here, the cause number, or whatever information is. Did we lose you? Did we lose you for a second?
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I don't know what happened. Lost y'all. You were saying about the Michael Morton document?
Yeah. So basically it just kind of brings in any information like defendant last name, cause number, judicial court number, county name, all that stuff. But then it's going to list every single document that you put into the software to like automate the recording of what you put in. So for example, this is the offense report and it was put in at this date and this time and has this many pages. And so it'll continually update as you go.
Okay.
And then on the next page, it'll bring in the prosecutor name, the defense attorney, and the defendant, and you can print it out and sign it. So it'll update in the background. So if you add something in a couple of days, it'll bring that in as well.
Okay, so it'll just generate everything that's from the system. So the only thing you have to do is print out and sign it. You don't actually have to write out what each file is.
Exactly. No more manual counting. Yep.
Okay.
And then we also have like an email notification, so you can say, hey, I want to send out an email whenever there's supplementary discovery that's put in, or every time, you know, every Friday or whatnot, just a list, and it'll send a link to the parties involved as well. But that's more of like a background process.
Okay.
Some of the things that should probably be considered, though, is I think you were mentioning your internet. Although you have a decent connection at your office, the speed's going to largely depend on your internet connection when you're uploading these videos. So the larger the file, if the internet resources are not as strong, the longer it'll take to upload.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I mean that's something we're running into. It's something we already have to deal with. I guess my question is there a way to link this to the Odyssey case manager we have and extract all the information from there, or would we have to actually upload everything into this new system?
There are two ways to do this, but the more direct answer is you're most likely going to have to do it the second option. You're going to have to put it into the system manually. We have an open API to talk to Odyssey, and some of the other counties that have Odyssey have inquired about it. And Odyssey says it's like 50 or 60 grand just for the API, and our software product costs less than that. And so most of our customers are saying, oh, I'll type it in manually rather than spending 50 or 60 grand. And then we're coming up with a program where we could potentially scrape information from Odyssey onto our system, but that's maybe 6 months to a year away, to be candid. So for right now, most of our clients are manually typing it in for the time being until we can come up with a workaround. But if your county already has the API, then we can integrate fully.
How, I guess I would need to talk to someone in IT if we've got the API for that. So you're saying that we might actually already have that technology that we've purchased, and y'all would be able to just pull it from Odyssey?
Exactly. Yep. If you've already purchased an API, we can pretty much integrate with almost any application to some degree. But all the counties we've talked to, like when we're talking to their IT departments, they're like, oh yeah, Tyler doesn't like to play nice. So it's kind of challenging in that respect.
Okay, so it's likely that we don't have that, and that we would have to go the route of either getting it or just manually putting everything into this system.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Okay.
And then, I mean, there is also the option of having, like, one of the Brown County DA office has their law enforcement agencies upload. I think you might have said that they're kind of giving you some pushback on that, but that's also
well,
another
I
option.
mean, I don't think anybody opposes it. I think we just are in a position where we just, like, our sheriff's office can't quite get the upload speed that we want.
Okay.
I think we have to put in like $30,000 worth of cables need to be ran out to our sheriff's office because it's kind of outside of the city. And so
Okay.
yeah, so that's kind of what we're running to. I mean, if that were the case, if we had that infrastructure in place, it would be great because yeah, they could just upload it at one time, and then we could view it like you're saying, and then the defense counsel can view it as well. And it would be make a lot of our lives a lot easier, but I gotta kind of work with what I got.
Sure.
So I mean, how much would something like this cost for our type of county?
So we generally like price by user, and then there's like the bells and whistles, like the Michael Morton compliance document and the email notification. How many prosecutors ballpark do you have in your office, and I guess prosecutors and support staff?
I mean, we've got 5 total prosecutors, 4 of which would be the ones that would need access. And then we've got 2 people handling intake. So I would say 6 people, probably.
Okay. And then the defense attorney licenses, we have like a shared license where they can only view, they can't like edit or delete or anything like that. Y'all's county is similar to the size of Hockley County outside of Lubbock.
Which
so
county?
Hockley County.
How do you spell that? I'm sorry, it's going in and out.
Sure. Hockley.
Okay, all right, Hockley County. They're similar to us.
Yeah, they're like similar in size. I want to say they're in those 30,000-ish, 33, 32, something like that.
And they're using this right now?
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so you can get away with maybe like 5 shared defense attorney licenses, and we can kind of say after a certain amount of inactivity, kick them out. So it's generally probably around anywhere from 15 to 25 or 30,000, depending on the bells and whistles and what we're going to configure and set up. And that's a one-time fee. And then that includes like the services to set everything up. And then we have a 20% software fee. And I can send this to your, Chuck can send this to you via email if you'd like as well. That way you don't have to remember.
Yeah, especially something written down will look official. That'd be good.
Yeah. Hey, you told me 20, now it's 50, yeah.
No. I mean, just something I could show to, I got to drop it off with the boss. He's got the final approval, so.
Yeah. But that's probably a good ballpark estimate.
Okay, and so it's initially 15 to 25K, and then how much is it annually for the licenses?
It's a 20% maintenance and support fee, which is a 4,000 or 5,000-ish. I'm just going to guess, but we can kind of give you a more firm number on that.
Okay. It's something I'm certainly interested in. Everything y'all have seems to be very user friendly. It seems like something that would definitely help out our office. It's just something that I have to see if if we'd want to switch all the way over. My intake, they've got kind of their process, and they might know a little more about other things they use with Odyssey, kind of like the jail manager. So if we were totally to pull out from Odyssey, we might lose that function. So as long as we could still function with like all the information the jail's putting in and function with y'all without having to manually put everything in to y'all's software and Odyssey separately. I think that's the one thing that seems to be holding me back right now is the jail manager aspect. You know what I mean? So like we would just want to we'd want to be able to just manually put them in all at once, but still have the benefit of pulling over the jail manager information. And I'd have to talk with them about if that would interfere with that or not. The other thing would just be, you know, getting approval for funding and all that. But yeah, it looks good. It's something we're definitely interested in because right now I'm getting bogged down sometimes. Sometimes our internet will crap out and I'll be like halfway through downloading some videos and I'll have to start over. So I would like to avoid that, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And actually, now that you bring that up, like with one of the features that we didn't show you, if you wanted to download a video from our program versus stream it, if your internet poops out, it'll pick up where you left off. So another kind of cool little wrinkle. And if you're interested, we can definitely show another demo, a little bit more in-depth demo, or you know, kind of do whatever you need us to if you need more information. But we can definitely follow up with the pricing and whatnot.
Well, let me fill out the office and see if it's something that, you know, we could legitimately keep working towards and moving forward. I don't think the price is something too outrageous. If it's just, you know, I'm dealing with the Commissioner's Court. They handle all of our funding and everything like that. So we'd have to go through them and just justify to them why it would be beneficial. But I would definitely have to figure out, and I want to talk with IT about if we could still only have to manually upload it once and still have the benefits of, you know, the jail manager getting pulled over and all that. I'd have to see how all that would interact because right now we're using Odyssey. We're pretty reliant on Odyssey for all of our information as to the defendant and all that. So I just have to see how all that plays in together.
Makes sense. Okay. Yeah, and if you want, I might even be able to, if you're interested, provide one of our customers that has Tyler and see how they do it. I don't know if it'd be a good, you know, kind of sounding board or whatnot.
Oh, that would be excellent. I mean, if I could hear from, you know, another county or hear their story on how they managed it and that it wasn't too much of an overhaul, I think that's a lot easier for me to communicate to my DA, to the Commissioner's Court, to everybody here in intake, that it's not going to be this, you know, I mean, I would hate to overhaul it and then it's an even worse situation and I'm the one to blame for everything, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I mean, if you have some stories from those people, I mean, it sounds like Hockley County's doing it pretty well. Do you know if Hockley County uses Odyssey?
So Hockley's using NetData.
NetData?
Waller. Yes, sir. NETDATA.
Okay.
Waller County, who's just a little bit larger than y'all, is using Odyssey. They're like 45,000 population.
I'm familiar.
And then, okay. Do you know of Warren DeProm by any chance?
No. Is that a person there in Waller County?
Yeah, he kind of helped us, you know, him and Elton Mathis kind of pointed us in the right direction to build some of these tools.
Wait, what are their names? Because we might have a prosecutor in this office that used to be over there. I'm sorry, what did you say their names were?
Elton Mathis, he's the DA.
Elton,
ELTON.
Mathis,
yep. He's the district attorney.
Okay, and then he kind of pushed this forward.
Yeah, he kind of told us, you need to do this, that, and the other, and you know, you'll get up to speed. So he's the one that created like hey, you should do a Michael Morton compliance document and an email notification tool and whatnot. I think I might have lost you there for a second.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm trying to think what I can nail down with y'all before we get off the phone.
Well, Mr. Barker, let me ask you this question, if I could, while you're thinking. So you're mentioning your intake folks and trying to run this by, you know, the other folks in your office. You know, Dan mentioned we can certainly do a more in-depth demo if you'd like. We're more than happy to do another demo with the other folks that would be using the system, if you feel like that would be beneficial. Maybe that's something you don't know the answer to today. It might be something you query them about. But please know that we're more than willing to do that. Anything we can do to help you build that case, we certainly want to do so.
Perfect. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, I mean, that ultimately, I think we would have to do that, and I think that conveys the message the best. I mean, when y'all showed me that, I mean, that I've been kind of visualizing what a portal would look like for us to use, and every time I burn something to a DVD, I think about that. So it's nice to see it finally, and it gives me some relief that there's something out there, and I'm glad y'all reached out to us. Y'all actually reached out to us at the best time, because I've actually sat with my IT guy for about an hour the other day, and he explained to me all of our issues, all of our problems, how we've dealt with them and everything. So I'm hoping we can kind of get over that hurdle, either on the intake part or the output part. But yeah, so I mean, right now, you know, when someone gets arrested, we've got everybody going in and getting registered through Jail Manager, which is the jail uses it through Odyssey. So all of their address, their social securities, all that stuff's being put in at that point. I don't want anybody in my office having to put that in again. So that information from Odyssey would have to be able to come into, you know, whatever system we're using. And maybe those two actually don't have to link up. Maybe we can still have some sort of case management system through y'all's software. But from what I'm thinking, either the jail manager would have to switch over to y'all's software, or we would have to connect Odyssey somehow to this. So I'm concerned how we would make that work unless we had to purchase the API. That's the big thing I'm getting hung up on right now, and I'm trying to think through it, because I would really like to make this work, but that's the big thing I'm running into right now.
Perhaps if I can get in touch with one of our customers that use Tyler in probably a similar fashion, and maybe just have you pick his brain and kind of figure it out, if that makes sense. Yeah, that would probably be the best thing, because I'm sure, like, I don't want the fact that we're a small county to hold us back, because what you're telling me is there's other counties using stuff like this, and I'm sure it's making their life a lot easier, and they're more productive, and this, you know, they can get their job done. So. Totally.
Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. That's all I got.
If it's okay with you, we'll reach out to our customer and then perhaps shoot you an email with their contact info, or introduce you via email if that works, and kind of see if y'all can connect and whatnot, and see if there's a solution that makes sense.
That'd be perfect. And is there a way? Can I only view this when y'all got it pulled up, y'all are looking at it? Or is there a way, like, well, actually, I think y'all sent me the link of the video, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that video, I think it's like a 60 seconds.
Yeah.
This should send you a recording. I can also send you this. We can put it on YouTube if you want, and send you a link. That way y'all can access it, if that helps.
Yeah, that'd be great, because then I could just kind of show them in passing, like, hey, look what's out there. Like, there's stuff that makes our lives a lot easier, so.
Perfect. Okay.
Cool. All right, well, I guess I'll hear from y'all in a little bit. I appreciate y'all